In general, the practice of promising donations to charities or to people or to causes and not actually following through on those donations, that is very low immoral activity. It's even worse when you make promises publicly that you're going to make contributions to a charity or to a person or whoever for political gain and then never make the donations. And Donald Trump has done that many times. We've been covering it for months. But there is a new low that is being reported by the Washington Post, which is that Donald Trump offered a grieving military father $25,000 and never sent him the money. I'm talking about the father of 22-year-old Army Sergeant Dillon Baldridge. Dillon Baldridge and two other soldiers were killed by an Afghan police officer in an attack on June 10th. That is more than 4 months ago. Dillon's father is Chris Baldridge, and he received a call from Donald Trump some time ago that by all accounts lasted about 15 minutes. And during that call, Donald Trump did something that is sort of odd for a president to do. He offered Chris Baldridge $25,000 and promised that he would have his staff create a fundraiser for the Baldridge family. And according to the Washington Post's reporting this month, Chris Baldridge said, about his conversation with Donald Trump, quote, he said, "I'm going to write you a check out of my personal account for $25,000. And I was just floored. I could not believe he was saying that. And I wish I had it recorded because the man did say this. He said, no other president has ever done something like this, but he said, I'm going to do it." Unfortunately, neither happened. Donald Trump never sent the money as of yesterday. The fundraiser for the family was never set up as of yesterday. Absolutely and totally disgusting. Trump's reaction, hey, see, I do call some parents of dead soldiers. No, I'm kidding. Trump's reaction, the White House reaction, was actually to issue a statement saying the check has been sent. Literally, the reaction is the check is in the mail. Serious question. If this death took place in June and Trump spoke to Chris Baldridge not long after that, if the check has only been sent out on October 18th, which was yesterday, after it goes public that Chris Baldridge never received the check, do any of us really believe that the check would have been sent were it not for the negative reporting? And you see this completely impossible juxtaposition where on one hand, you have Trump and his administration saying, it's bogus. It's a fabricated story. Of course we sent him the money. And the check is in the mail now, more than 4 months later. What a big coincidence that the check was sent out only right when the Washington Post started doing critical reporting about this. And I actually think that this is a really dumb move from Trump, because if Trump does follow through and cut a check for 25 grand to a Gold Star dad, it appears as though he is the unempathetic guy that we know him to be, who thinks you can just pay people off when they're grieving. If he actually did this because if he did this and he doesn't send the check, then he seems to be the liar who lies about contributions and donations, which we also know him to be. That's the problem with this. It seems like a really stupid move for Donald Trump, and he wants to further the narrative that he's really good with these families, that he's calling the narrative, the families, and creating this narrative that he's this empathetic guy, which we all know he isn't. The Washington Post actually interviewed families of 13 of the 20 plus service members that have been killed since Donald Trump has assumed the presidency. Half had received phone calls and the other half had not. One widow was reportedly asked to wait by the phone by the White House and expect a call from Donald Trump, and Donald Trump never called. What do you believe? Do you believe the grieving military father who has spent his entire life do you believe the grieving military father who says that he was promised the donation and didn't get it? Or do you believe Trump, who has a long track record of promising donations and never making them? I know who I believe. I believe the grieving military father, not Donald Trump. Send me your thoughts about this. I'm on Twitter at @Pakman. The show is on Twitter at David Pakman Show. We'll take a break and be back with plenty more right after this.
Today's program is made possible in part by Blue Sky Binary's Blockchain Academy. Blockchain, the technology on which Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies can be based. Many people not aware of both the power and the risks that are carried by blockchain technology. I've only started to get into this a little bit, buying a little bit of Bitcoin here and there, dollar cost averaging. But a lot of people, myself included, believe that blockchain technology is just too complicated to understand. But the truth is, it doesn't have to be that way. The Blue Sky Binary Blockchain Academy from leading financial education firm Blue Sky Binary explains how blockchain works. And it can work in addition to existing knowledge that you have about blockchain. It's for both beginners and active cryptocurrency users alike. With the course, students are taken through a series of topics which ultimately will deliver a very solid understanding of how blockchain works and help students realize the potential future uses of blockchain technology. We've talked about this in the pharmaceutical world. We've talked about this in the IT security world. Many, many possibilities for blockchain. And the course includes video on demand, online tests, access to a community of traders and blockchain enthusiasts. And at blueskybinary.com/David, you can register to get a free 3-day trial, which includes access to the first module of the course for you to evaluate the overall quality and decide if you want to stick with it. Get a free 3-day trial at blueskybinary.com/David.